Hello, Michael.
You did a very good job with your mission. I owe you.
Yes, our dad would be proud. Are you going to give us a reward, Michael?
Of course. You deserve it. Give me time to bring you something.
Yeah!
I have to get going. Keep practicing your marksmanship, boys. It's a powerful homemade slingshot. I don't know if it's intuition or what little is left of my memory, but I have a hunch that I was extremely clumsy with these kind of things.
Hello, Michael.
Hi, kids.
We got Mom out of the house. Now what about that reward?
Yes. I think I have something you might like. I don't know if I'm doing the right thing. They're just kids. And this could get them into trouble. I know perfectly well what they're going to use it for, but their aim is amazing. And a little commotion on the camp fence could be a good thing for everyone. Besides, they want to do something for their father, and those pigs at the gate deserve a surprise.
What is it, Michael? Tell us, what is it?
I know it's something you're really going to like. Here you go. It's a slingshot.
It's a slingshot! Thank you, Michael. With this, we'll be able to hit the watchtowers. Come on, let's try it! That'll teach you, pigs!
Attention, all units in Sector 12. Report immediately to the North Watchtower. I repeat, report immediately to the North Watchtower.
What's going on? I don't know. It must be something serious. Come on, let's go.
You hit him! Haha, yes! So what do we do now? I don't know. We've got to get out of here. Quickly! Run!
I better take this with me. I'm not going to pick them up. I'm sure it took the kids a long time to collect all those rocks for their target practice. Besides, I bet my aim is worse than theirs. One of the many towers that make it possible to survey the camp from above. It seems like the sentry in this one came down in a hurry. Oh, shit. The key's not in the ignition. One of the soldiers on sentry duty must have it. Anyway, I should have figured as much. From the color of the seat and body, I'd say it's army property. The type of gloves motorcyclists wear. And although I can get my hands into them, they're not exactly my size. This quilted fabric fits the size of the window perfectly. Okay, let's try this. And let's cross our fingers that the seat cover absorbs the noise of the breaking glass. If the soldiers next door find me, they'll blow my head off without bothering to ask questions.
You've done it. Thank you. Thank you. I'm safe now. God bless you, stranger. You saved my life.
Take care of yourself, old man. And I don't have to tell you, don't open the door to strangers. It's the pair of bolt cutters the old man could barely get his hands around. Once he's safe, he won't be needing them anymore. Let's see what's on the other side of this hedge. No! Please! These visions! My head!
You won't get any of his things. I won't allow it. Do you hear me?
Michael, is that you? Thank God we found you. It's me, Chris. Don't you recognize me? But there is a solution, Michael. All is not lost. There is still a possibility of salvation for us. For each and every one of us.
You have to stop this, Michael. You have to quit.
I can't do it!
It's destroying us, don't you see? It's killing us.
It's that demon inside me! I'm sorry! I'm so sorry! These visions are getting more intense all the time. The pain is unbearable. Who's Chris? Salvation is still possible, he said. Could that be true? And once again, that female voice has been haunting me since I woke up. Who is she? Why was she so distressed? What the hell happened to us? Or is going to happen to us? From here, I have a magnificent view of the hospital compound. In truth, the part that's visible from the road is only a fraction of it. The vegetation conceals a much larger area. The trees and bushes conceal structures where hundreds and hundreds of metal barrels were being stored. Whatever's inside them, there must be thousands of gallons of it down there. More of that barbed wire that adorns all the city's buildings. If I get up close enough, I can hear a slight buzz, a sure sign that this fence is electrified. There's a flat metal object buried in the bushes, but I can't see it very well from this side of the fence. I have no intention of sticking my arms through this electrified fence. As a suicide option, I think I'd rather use the park next door. I'll use the gloves as insulation so I can cut the wire. Perfect. Let's see what's down here. It's a trapdoor, and it looks like it hasn't been used in a long, long time. This door leads to a dingy back room. What the hell could be in here? I can hear the buzz of electricity coming from inside, but I can't figure out anything more without a little more light. What is this place? Where the devil am I? It seems like the small building at the ground level is just camouflage. The most important part is here underground. Are all of them dissolved? How many patients can there be packed in here? Dozens? Hundreds? This is horrible! A container covered in dust. It's not properly closed. The label says hydrofluoric acid. It's the only exit on this side of the catwalk. A ventilation hole covered with a grate. It doesn't look promising, but any place is better than this gateway to hell where I am now. Let's see if this grate can be removed. Perfect. It looks like this hole leads to a passageway on the other side. The handle that opens this rusty monstrosity looks worn out. It looks like this closet is used frequently, and with very little care. A tiny lock is preventing me from opening the door, and despite its size, it seems to be very strong. I'm not going to open it this way. I don't see any cracks in the door big enough to get any leverage. There's a bunch of papers stuck to the door of the closet. There seems to be some type of bureaucratic form among them. Military personnel, GPS, targets, rifles. I'm afraid what's described on these pages doesn't have very much to do with typical medical activities in a hospital. It's an enormous, wrinkled plastic bag that looks like it wants to escape from the cart's trash can. It's sagging from the weight and so dilapidated that I doubt this janitor's cart has many more trips left in it. The future is in our hands. Collaborate, rebuild, report. From the text, I say this poster must have been part of a government campaign launched after the Great Wave. Judging by the horrible noise coming from the other side, this door must lead to the vast hall where the dissolved are going through their final agony. As Reverend Blake might say, a stairway down to the very bowels of the underworld. Better not. I'm an intruder in this building, and it's under the Army's control. Going down to the main hall of the hospital would be walking straight into the lion's den. Unlike his neighbors, this door is hanging open. All I see inside are remnants of stickers and torn photographs. It looks like someone left in a hurry, without even saying goodbye. A row of anonymous, ramshackle lockers. I get the impression that everything in here could fall apart at any moment. Maybe in solidarity with those poor unfortunates screaming in the main hall. We must be very deep underground, and the blades of this fan are barely turning at half speed. That explains why the air down here is almost unbreathable. More of that official propaganda. Your silence is the enemy. Help the cleanup brigades, is the slogan of this poster. This glass cabinet has dozens of medications stored inside, classified by type: antibiotics, anti-inflammatory drugs, diuretics, and, painkillers. Locked, of course. I'm starting to get annoyed with this sense of ownership I see in all the people with closets, lockers, and other storage furniture in this city. I'd rather use a key to open this case, but I'm a bit short on time, so...
Who is it? Who's there?
Oh, excuse me,
What are you doing here? Have you come to steal something? Take one more step and I'll call the soldiers.
No, wait, please, don't do that.
Security, this is Nurse Uma Grundy. I need you to come right away.
No, wait! Wait a minute, did you say Uma? Nurse Uma?
Yes, that's my name.
Wait, please don't turn me in. I know your father. I saved his life just a few hours ago. They were going to deport him to the refugee camp, but I was able to stop it.
My God, did you say my father? Tell me, how is he? Has anything happened to him?
Don't worry, Uma. He's safe. He told me about you and your work in this place. He was worried. He'll want to know that you're all right. Wait, please don't turn me in.
This is Nurse Uma Grundy. It turned out to be a false alarm. You don't have to come, thank you.
Thank you, Uma. You did the right thing. My name is Michael.
But now you should explain why you burst in here like that. What are you looking for, Michael?
I came to get medicine. I need a cure for the dissolved.
Cure? There's no such thing. You won't find it here or anywhere else. The authorities distributed a memo among the medical staff months ago. I'm sure you can still find a copy of it around here somewhere. It told us that they've definitely abandoned the search for a medicine. You made a mistake risking your life to get in here. The only thing we store here is pain. This place is a tomb for those poor infected devils, but also for the people who work here. I'm sorry, Michael. The dissolved are condemned to death.
No, that can't be. There has to be a solution, a cure. Oh man, poor Rod, poor Colin. But I heard in the refugee camp, they said a cure is being produced and stored here. Well, if that's not the case, what's the purpose of a building like this?
The Army deliberately keeps that rumor about a possible cure alive. You see, as long as people still have some hope left, it is much easier to control the city more effectively. But it's a lie.
I understand.
This medical center was built just after the Great Wave, taking advantage of some abandoned underground facilities. That was when the authorities were beginning to work on their project to rebuild the city. They told us the building was going to be used to take in the first patients. Of course, we had no idea the disease would become so widespread. I left my job in a clinic downtown to come here. I wanted to lend a hand. They demanded total confidentiality about our work to avoid causing panic in the population. Not even my father knew what we were really doing in here.
Yes. He told me that when I asked him about this place.
At first, we treated the patients with great care. There was medicine to ease their suffering and even research into a possible cure. Everything was going smoothly.
And then what happened?
Things started to go wrong. When the number of patients multiplied, we couldn't keep up. And then we began to run out of even the most basic supplies. And that was when the Army took over complete control of the center.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Then they sealed off the building. No one was allowed to leave, not even us. We doctors and nurses have been shut in here for months, isolated without even a glimpse of daylight. They say it's for security reasons. It's for our own safety. Oh yeah. Now our medical care is limited to wrapping up the patients in plastic bags, like the ones they use to transport cadavers, and then simply waiting for them to die, doing what little we can do to ease their suffering. Then we dispose of their remains, dissolving the black bags in acid for decontamination. And that's about it. That's all we can do with the resources we have. And sometimes it's just too much to bear.
Condemned to die. I heard their cries of pain out there. What really happens to the dissolved?
These people suffer the most excruciating pain and die in the most horrible way I've ever seen. The first symptoms are bouts of nausea and fainting, which become more frequent and prolonged as the disease progresses. Until, in the end, their entire metabolism enters a state of shock. Then, their entire cell structure dissolves. It simply disintegrates. There's no medical explanation. It just happens. But there's something even stranger about the disease.
What could be stranger than what you just told me?
The dissolved become erratic, unpredictable, eccentric. They're uncontrollable. That's why the Army fears them. They're afraid of their unpredictable behavior, but also of their strange messages. So the sole function of this place is to keep them locked away, hidden, and under the Army's control, until death takes them off their hands, one by one. It's also why people who harbor the dissolved are punished. And it's also the reason for the existence of the cleanup brigades.
But I thought they were just controlling the patients to keep the disease from spreading.
But that's a lie, a blatant lie. The spread of the disease is accelerating. The number of cases is multiplying every day. But it's not contagious. We doctors and nurses have been treating the sick for months, in direct contact with them and their remains. And the rate of contagion among us is no higher than out there. The Army is lying.
But then, how is the disease spread?
We don't know, Michael. No one knows. What we do know is that it's not caused by direct contact with the victims. There's another reason for the Army's secrecy about the dissolved. Fear. It's human nature to fear the unknown. We tend to panic when faced with something we don't understand. And this damn disease is more than any of us can handle.
And what is it that makes the dissolved so unpredictable and dangerous?
They know, Michael. You probably think I'm crazy, but I'm telling you, they know. They talk about events no one else knows about. They sense things. They bring back information from the places they go. And they talk to the dead there, Michael. They communicate with the dead. They know, Michael. That's all.
They're just sick people, Uma.
No! They're more than just ordinary sick people. You wouldn't talk like that if you had been living with them, and their messages and their prophecies all these months.
Wait a minute. Did you just say the dissolved make prophecies?
Let me tell you a story. When I first came to the center, I became friendly with a patient, a 13-year-old girl. All the time I was taking care of her, she never stopped chatting. She told me all about the underground highways. She said she went there every day.
Underground highways?
She said they all went there when they lost consciousness. Obviously, I felt great pity for the girl, but in time I also came to feel tremendous fear. I was afraid of that poor, hopeless child. Her visions, her dreams, her messages terrified me. And then one night she sat down next to another patient, an older woman who looked surprisingly healthy. According to our calculations, this woman still had a few months to live. The woman had just lost consciousness. "Leave me alone with her," the girl said to me. "It won't be long now." And she took the woman's hand. And just seconds later, the woman started to dissolve, shrieking and writhing in pain, until there was nothing left of her but a puddle of brown, viscous liquid. The girl turned to me and said, "I knew she was leaving us, and I didn't want her to go alone. That would have been very sad, wouldn't it, Uma?" The girl's face was still dripping with the remains of the patient. She knew what was going to happen, Michael. She saw it. From then on, my fear became uncontrollable. I felt defenseless next to her.
I understand.
Finally, my panic was so great that I refused to go anywhere near her. And I even, God forgive me, I felt secretly relieved when she herself finally dissolved. They know, Michael, and that's why they're so dangerous to the people in power now.
The cleanup brigades. I've seen how they behave.
They're savages. I despise them. They're like predatory animals, heartless and unscrupulous. The rest of the staff refuses to share the facilities with them, so their lockers are out in the hallway. That's where they keep everything they need for their hunting expeditions. The GPSs, the disease detection tests, their ID badges. Each unit is made up of 2 soldiers, 1 doctor and 1 nurse. I mean, doctors and nurses collaborating with those bloodthirsty animals, but then they say, "What do you want? It's our job, and somebody's got to do it."
Yes, that phrase sounds familiar. It's bone-chilling. Police and criminals using exactly the same words to justify their actions. You gotta do what you gotta do. That seems to be the slogan of the executioners of this new world.
Talk to my father, Michael. Tell him that I'm all right, that he shouldn't worry, that we'll be seeing each other soon, very soon.
A very old piece of furniture, completely worm-eaten. Its decrepitude stands out even in this locker room. Let's see. Inside, I only see dust and old papers, and a tiny key. In the middle of all the broken glass, and stored in the compartment for painkillers, there's a vial labeled oral morphine. Oral morphine, a glass vial with a dozen red pills. I didn't know morphine also came in this form. I thought I'd need to look for a liquid solution in a syringe. That's a relief. A tiny key. The lock presumably is too. It's one of those plastic bags used to wrap up the patients in their final hours until they finally dissolve. The damp, sticky texture alone sends shivers down my spine. That means it's been used. Hydrofluoric acid. What's a chemical like this doing inside a medical facility? The smell alone is giving me a headache. A rather old and dull pair of bolt cutters. Could that be why I couldn't open the padlock on that door? I'm afraid that in the condition they're in, I'll have to use them on softer materials if I want to accomplish anything. Let's see if it's the key to this closet. Bingo! I see a yellow bucket in here with medical waste, with a handful of what seem to be tests for detecting the dissolved. I'm not going to take any. A small red LED is blinking on all of them, an unmistakable sign that they've been used. A mysterious crate with several objects inside. A rather large plywood crate. It used to hold some of the cleanup brigade's work tools. According to one of the cleanup brigade's forums, this is the device they use to navigate during their raids. Sort of like an electronic map. It looks like some satellites are actually still working after the Great Wave. Something I could easily confirm if this contraption had batteries in it. Authorized Vehicle Pass. It's the ID that allows the cleanup brigades to get in and out of the hospital compound in their macabre ambulances. From what I can tell, the Army can pump you full of lead if you try to come through the gate without one of these. It's an internal Army memo for the hospital's medical staff. The report talks about the failure to develop a cure for the dissolved, and what's even worse, the decision to finally abandon the search for one. This street is even more desolate and silent than it was before. I guess while I was in the subterranean hospital for the dissolved, the soldiers called the curfew. She meditates in silence, resigned and exhausted. Considering the mental state of Reverend Blake, I guess it falls to her to take care of him night and day. What are you doing out here, ma'am? What's the matter?
It's my brother. He's disappeared. We don't know where he is.
What do you mean he's disappeared?
Well, we haven't seen him since he spoke to you, since he ran out of the church. We've been searching for him for hours and can't find him anywhere.
And you don't have any idea where he might have gone?
No, he simply ran out of the door, completely out of control. I've never seen him so upset, and we haven't heard anything from him since. I just know that something terrible has happened to him. My brother is very sick and he shouldn't be out there alone and unprotected. I fear the worst.
Calm down. There's no reason to think that anything has happened to him.
I have a feeling that something awful has happened. I'm sure of it. Besides, the soldiers have already called the curfew. If they find him on the street alone and lost, in his condition, my brother is a very beloved and respected person. But those beasts don't care who he is.
I understand.
We have to get off the street. Please, if you see my brother, tell him to come home. Tell him we're waiting for him.
Of course. I'll do that.
The camp is closed, Rat. Get away from the gate.
But I have to come in. It's urgent. What happened?
There's no understanding you worms. Always wanting to get out of here. Once you're outside, you're dying to get back in. One of our soldiers was killed, and the camp will remain closed until the matter is cleared up. So take a hike.
There was an attack?
Yes. Someone hit one of the sentries in the watchtowers with a rock and made him fall out. He was killed instantly. Luckily, it seems there was a witness who saw the perpetrators launch the projectile, and they've been detained. But we never trust the testimony of a rat, so we're waiting for the criminals to confess, or for the murder weapon to turn up.
I don't think it's gonna take very long to get the truth out of these kids. Or to find the weapon they used to commit the crime.
Good God. What have I done? I knew I shouldn't have gotten them mixed up in this. But they're just a couple of scared kids. Don't you see that? What are you planning on doing with them?
Killing an official is punishable by death, and martial law is quite clear in this respect. They acted as adults, and they will pay for their actions as adults. As soon as they confess, or we find the weapon they used to commit the crime, we'll take care of matters. Do you have a problem with the law being enforced?
You're nothing but a gang of warped psychopathic pigs.
One more word and I'll blow your head off right now, bastard. I couldn't care less what privileges that bracelet might give you. Get out of my sight.
Those pigs are gonna kill the boys, and it'll be my fault. I'll be responsible for their deaths. I can't let that happen. I have to do something, and fast. But what? Before I go down, I'll leave the heavy stuff here, in case the rope doesn't support my weight. Jesus! It's the corpse of Reverend Blake! His neck is broken. In his delirium, he must not have seen the rope I left tied around the tree, and must have fallen from the top when he was trying to get down here. But what the hell was he looking for here? He still has the same grimace of terror as when he ran out of the church. What made him go mad? I don't care anymore. I'm afraid he took the answer with him to the grave. Damn it. If I don't prevent it, those bastards in uniform are going to execute the boys. For God's sake, I have to think of some way to save them, and I have to do it now. What's that? There's something sticking out of the Reverend's jacket pocket. Let's see what's in here. A damp, moldy business card. It's almost illegible, but it looks like it's from a place called Beechwood Oracle. Most of the text is too worn off to read. All you can make out of it is an address. 24 Mammothswood Street. Good idea. I could use Reverend Blake as a scapegoat to protect those children. On the other hand, him being one of the most famous and respected men in the city, I doubt anyone would believe my story if I accused him of attacking the sentry in the tower. This is gonna be hard. Very hard. But those children are innocents in all this. And those ruthless savages are about to kill them in cold blood. I have no other choice. God damn it! Had the visions again! Not now. I have to do this. I've got to do this. My head!
You've got to stop this, Michael. I can't stand it anymore. This has to end.
I can't help it. It's that demon. You know I can't help it.
Please, Michael. Please. Make it stop.
Yes. That tiny, cowardly demon. I remember. That brutal sensation of acid running through your veins. Corroding, little by little, anything good and decent you might have left inside you. Turning it into pain, rot, and emptiness. I've disfigured his face, but not enough. He's still identifiable. I remember it. I remember. I can smell it, feel it, touch it.
No, please, don't do it. No!
That cowardly demon, that dark and intimate specter that only you know, that gains strength in this new world. Digging its claws into your soul like a jagged piece of glass. Whispering in your ear that what you're doing is right. Because nobody has the authority to tell you otherwise. Good God, what have I done? What have I done? Why are you showing me this? Please, answer me. Who was I before the catastrophe? Before the world collapsed? Do I really want to know? God, I'm afraid. I'm afraid of myself. There's no time for guilt. To save those children, well, you gotta do what you gotta do. Damn it! I'm starting to sound like the hunter. You have to let those boys go. They're innocent. You've got the wrong people.
What are you insinuating, rat? You better have a good reason for saying something like that, or we'll splatter your brains all over the wall of shame, and then use the kids for target practice.
I know who the guilty party is. I know who committed the crime, and I know where he is.
Hey, we've got to hear this. Start talking, rat.
Okay, here goes. I hope those pigs take the bait, because if they find out the truth, I'm a dead man. The murderer was a deranged man I met in the city a few hours ago. He told me he was desperate, tired of the humiliation and violence he had to face every day. He was determined to do something crazy. I didn't believe him at the time, but now I see that he wasn't kidding. After the attack, he committed suicide by jumping into the cesspit next to the camp road. You'll find him there. His face is unrecognizable from hitting the rocks and scraping against the rubble, but I'm sure you'll find the murder weapon next to his body.
We'll check out your story and see if it holds up.
We're approaching what looks like a body. It looks like that worm was right. Over.
What a mess. What the hell happened to his face?
Meh, who cares? We found the guilty party with the murder weapon. Let those kids go. And unlock the camp gate. Over.
You can come in now, Rat.
I brought the morphine for your husband, just as I promised. This woman in this house gave me the chills. Let's get this over with as soon as possible.
So you've come for your money. Is that it, you rat?
You offered it to me. I didn't ask for anything in return.
No, you're right. Yeah, I guess you've earned it. That's what we agreed. I'm an honest woman. I think you have a very wrong impression of me. Take your money, Michael.
All right, thank you and good luck. I'm sure we'll be seeing each other around the camp.
Wait! Michael, is it money that you want? I have more money. I still have some savings. Those camp rats didn't manage to take it all. I'm sure we can figure something out.
I don't understand.
My husband is about to die. Without him, we'll be nobodies. Me and the kids. The soldiers don't even show us any respect anymore. A while ago, they broke in here to take them away, with no explanation. And it didn't matter to them in the least whose children they were. But if you stay here, all that could change. I still have some contacts. I could arrange for you to become the new Camp Mo. You're not like the rest of those rats out there, Michael. You're one of us. We'd be important again. We'd keep our privileges. Or do you want to be just another beggar in this sewer? I can't lower myself to that. I'd do anything. Stay here with us, Michael.
No. I don't doubt for a second that this woman would be capable of anything, like a cornered scorpion. I don't think that would be a good idea. It would be better for me to leave. Take good care of those boys. They're good kids.
Yeah, get out of here, you disgusting rat. You're all alike. In this camp, all you rats are alike. I don't need you. I don't need any of you. You're just waiting to see us fall. But I won't give you the satisfaction, you disgusting rats. I'll do what I have to do. But you won't see me crawling around in the trash like you.
A cornered scorpion, surrounded by flames that are closing in. I think it would be best not to speak to this woman ever again. She could be dangerous.
Hello, Michael. Did you see us out there with the soldiers? They were pointing their rifles at us, but we didn't squeal on you. We're two brave, strong men, aren't we? Well, we did cry a little. Shut up.
Of course you are. I'm proud of you. When you're grown up, everyone will know that you two can be trusted.
Grown up? But that's not going to be for a long time. Yeah, besides, our mom says that's not going to happen. There's no future for anyone. Not for us either.
Don't pay any attention to what people say. You should only worry about taking care of each other. That's the only thing that matters now, okay? I gotta get going. Goodbye, boys.
Goodbye, Michael. Goodbye, Michael.
Must be because of the dampness, but these bills give off a very nasty aroma. I suppose the odor of the new world is starting to become familiar to me. Now I fear the day I stop noticing it. I brought money. Let me see Rose.
Hey, this is a lot of dough, pal.
So, is it enough?
More than enough. This'll get you into Rose's van for the rest of the night. All you can eat. Have a good time with our Minnie Mouse, but be careful with the merchandise. You know how it works. You break it, you buy it.
Yeah, I get it.
Hello, Mr. Sleepyhead. You came back.
Hello, Rose.
Are you here to save me? Have you brought me my baby? They won't let me leave here to look for him. He's all I have left in the world.
I don't have anyone else. Will you help me? That's why you came back, isn't it? Or did you come back for the other thing? Do you want me to take off my clothes and lie down on the mattress?
I'd like to talk to you, Rose. You told me you had a secret to tell me. I need to hear it.
Yes, Mr. Sleepyhead. I know a secret about you. It's something very important, but I'm not going to tell you.
Why not?
Because you haven't brought me my baby. I asked you to help me and you haven't done it. I want to hold my baby again and rock him to sleep. Aren't we friends anymore, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, of course we're still friends. But Rose, please. I need to know what it is. What is the secret?
Okay, I'll give you a clue. It's a riddle. I have something of yours from before the Great Wave. It's the key for you to lock and unlock your chest of dreams, you sleepy bear. But I won't give it to you unless I can hold my baby again.
The key to my chest of dreams? I don't know what the devil she's talking about. But if it's something from before the Great Wave, no doubt it could help me recover my past. Rose, I don't have time for games. Give me whatever you have, please.
No. You have to help me first. Please bring me my baby. I want to rock him to sleep again, like in the picture on the wall. Have you seen the picture of my baby and me? It was taken before the Great Wave. I have no one else. I need my baby. Bring him to me. Bring him to me! Bring him to me!
Hey, pal! You can have a good time with our Minnie Mouse, but don't mess up the merchandise! Don't make us come in there. You know how it works. You break it, you buy it.
All right, Rose, all right. Calm down. No, I don't want you to lie down. Tell me, Rose, why can't you leave here?
It's because of them. They don't let me go any farther than that empty lot over there. They say I have to be ready in case a client comes. They only let me go see Rod and Colin in their trailer every once in a while.
And why don't you run away?
Those men are too scary, Mr. Sleepyhead. They yell at me and hit me if I don't do what they say. Sometimes they lock me in here in the dark for hours. And I'm afraid the soldiers will come back. They say they'll call them, and if I don't behave, they'll hurt me again. I'm so afraid of the dark. Aren't you? Colin is afraid of the dark too. Before he got sick, he told me, and now they won't let me see him anymore. I like the light better. Do you like the lights in my room, Mr. Sleepyhead?
Yes, they're very pretty, Rose.
It's like it's Christmas every day, isn't it? But the one who scares me most is the hunter. He's always ordering everyone around with a voice like an angry lion. He even gives orders to those men outside. He's like a horrible big dog about to bite you. I get the shivers every time he comes to visit me. But I like your voice very much, Mr. Sleepyhead. You sound like a knight in a fairy tale. And I'm your princess.
You said you don't have anyone. Where is your family?
I don't know, Mr. Sleepyhead. The last time I saw them was when that great wave came. They said they were leaving, but that they'd come back to find me, and then they left me alone with my baby. They told me they'd only come back if I took good care of him, if I held him and rocked him to sleep, like in the picture on the wall. Did you see my baby and me in the picture, Mr. Sleepyhead? But someone took him while I was asleep. You see, I had this dream while those soldiers were hurting me. Do you like to dream, Mr. Sleepyhead?
It depends on the dream, Rose.
I dream about my baby a lot, sleeping in his little cradle. And I also dream about my room in the house I used to live in before the Great Wave. The sun came in through the window every morning and lit up everything. Sometimes it looked like the walls were going to catch fire. This room is darker. I don't like the dark. That's when they come and hurt me. And sometimes they lock me here in the dark to punish me if I don't do what they say. Have you brought me my baby, Mr. Sleepyhead?
That poor girl is more disturbed than I thought. It looks like her mind hasn't been able to deal with all the pain of these last few months. Someone needs to get her out of here. No, Rose. I'm sorry. I haven't brought you your baby. Goodbye, Rose. I should be going now.
No, don't go. Please, will you help me, Mr. Sleepyhead? Will you bring me my baby? And will you bring me a cradle like this one in the picture? Be my knight in shining armor. Bring me what I ask and I'll give you the answer. the key to unlock your chest of dreams.
I'll try, Rose. I promise. I doubt this belongs to Rose. I suppose that after installing the lights on the ceiling, those poker addicts left this old toolbox here. From what I see, the only useful tool inside this box is a hand drill. Must be some leftover Christmas lights that are being used to decorate this room. There's makeup scattered at the foot of this mirror. I suppose those savages out there force Rose to put on makeup to make herself look older than she really is. This is the poor girl's place of business. It was probably dragged here from one of those heaps of trash out there. It's the pile of rags Rose is saving for her baby. When winter comes, my baby will get cold. That's what she said. It would break Rose's heart to see me stealing her baby's clothes. I'm not going to do that to her. It's a page torn out of a very old magazine. In her delirium, poor Rose thinks it's a photograph of her and her baby taken before the Great Wave. From the mother's hairstyle and outfit, the photo looks like it comes from some magazine from the 50s or 60s. Besides, I swear that these rocking cradles went out of style a long, long time ago.
Huh? Leaving us so soon? Hey, you're quick, pal. So, how'd our little mouse do?
You two are despicable. Rose told me about how you abuse and prostitute her.
I think we'll have to teach that naughty little girl how to keep her mouth shut. Don't jump to conclusions, pal. Let me tell you how we found that chatty little rodent, since you're so interested in her. It was about 4 months ago. She was naked and injured, and she could hardly move. A group of soldiers had gang raped her and left her for dead. They left her body wrapped in barbed wire from the camp fence. Crows would have picked her clean if we hadn't found her when we did. It's only thanks to us that she's still alive. Someone like Rose could never survive in the New World alone. You know that as well as we do. We're helping her. We protect her and we feed her. We actually keep her alive. The only thing we ask for in return is that she earn her keep. The only problem is, sometimes she has a hard time understanding that. And we have to be a little more strict with her, that's all. And the fact is, the girls, well, not too bright. But for some jobs, that's almost a blessing, don't you think?
What good Samaritans.
Well, I wouldn't say that. But you're catching on.
So this business is really just another one of the hunter's rackets?
Hey, careful what you say. We're independent businessmen. The hunter just lets us operate in his territory. He gives us protection and sends us clients. In exchange for a percentage, of course. Fair's fair. Yeah, fair's fair.
Of course, no doubt. I just hope that someday those bastards find themselves face to face with some of that fairness they talk about, wherever it might come from. Rose was talking to me about a baby, her son. Do you know where he is or how I can find him?
That little mouse's mind is gone. I wouldn't pay much attention to what she says. Hey, as far as I know, her entire family died in the Great Wave. After the explosion, she wandered around in a daze for weeks, until she finally ran into a group of drunken soldiers who wanted to, have some fun with her. When we found her, all she had left was that wrinkled old magazine clipping clutched in her hand. It's her pride and joy. Now she's got it stuck up on the wall of the van. And as far as the baby's concerned? Probably not alive anymore. If it ever existed. Who knows what goes on in that nutcase's head?
Then she really is all alone. She doesn't have anyone.
Of course she does. She has us now. My partner and I are sort of like, her new family. We protect her and we feed her. We actually keep her alive. And you can bet your ass we will, as long as our little mouse still has that small fortune between her legs.
I don't have anything else to discuss with you two.
Okay, come back anytime you like. You paid for her. The door to the van is open to you all night long.
There's Rod, sad and lost in thought. He must have been waiting for hours for news from me.
Michael, thank God you've come back. Colin is worse. His trances are getting longer and deeper. My wife and I are afraid the end is near. Please tell me that you've brought the medicine to cure his disease.
This is going to be very hard. But this man deserves to know the truth. I owe him that. I'm sorry, Rod. You have to see this. It's an army report. It says that the cure we were talking about doesn't exist. That it never existed.
No, but there has to be a cure. There has to be hope for us. The vultures are starting to gather around our trailer, waiting for the end so they can take my son's belongings. Colin himself can see them from the window of his room.
Calm down, Rod.
Don't tell me to calm down! You've brought ruin to this house. You've come to sentence Colin to death, but that drug exists. It has to exist!
Listen to me, Rod. I've done everything in my power to find the drug, but there is no such thing. Try to understand. There's no cure for the dissolved.
The dissolved? I warned you, Michael. I warned you not to use that word in this house! Get out of here! Get out of our lives forever!
Wait, Rod. I'm sorry, but you promised to help me. You promised to help me get my identity back.
Help you? You've ruined our lives. You've condemned our little boy to death. Get out of here. Get out of here at once!
Michael? Michael, I have to talk to you. I have a message. I have a message from her.
My God, it's Colin. A message from her?
Michael! Michael, please! She told me to talk to you.
Where do you think you're going? Don't you dare go into that room. You're not welcome in this house anymore.
But the boy, he called out to me by name.
Colin's delirious. He doesn't even know who you are. Get away from my family immediately.
Michael! Michael! I have a message from her. It's very important.
Damn you. Don't go near that door. Get out of this house! Listen, Michael. We have a gun in that room with 2 bullets in it. Don't make me waste one of them on you.
It's all right, Rod. Calm down. I'm leaving.
And as for you, vultures, drawn by the scent of death, I won't let you take anything. You hear me? Not a single thing! When this is over, when he's gone, I'll make sure there's nothing left for you. You won't get anything! You won't get anything.